Ah, greetings, Pathfinders. I'm your host, Dustin Knight, and welcome to Infiknight Reviews. Tonight, the latest and greatest Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite reviews are being hosted live on the official Paizo Twitch channel. First, I need to clarify that all views on this show are my own and have not been reviewed or endorsed by Paizo or any creators of these products. My ongoing goal is to showcase and review as many products on Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite as possible. If you have any requests for products I haven't already given a thorough review, please feel free to contact me on social media or shout out here in chat. Alright, so is anyone ready to go? Everyone ready to start the show? Let's go. And hi, Kate! Oh, why is my camera all fuzzy? One little second here. Little minor technical difficulty that will drive me crazy if I don't fix this. Is that it? Ooh, way too... There we have it. Oh, okay, that's a little better. A little more like that. Alright, well, my face will be small anyway, so let's go up here. Alright, so this week we are looking through a bunch of different books to take us all over Golarion. We have Arcadia Files, Altameda by Luis Loza. We have Quest for the Frozen Throne accessories by the Gremlin Brothers. And we have Sons of Raging Blood, and that whole book and all the different things that it entails by Brian Lane. I also wanted to do a quick re-review of Novel Archetypes Gingerbread Witch. And I'll do a shout out now and at the end of the show because there is a new Vellum and Lace, and you should all check that out because it's fabulous, it's awesome, it's fun, and I really love it. Alright, so, but we are going to start out now with Arcadia Files Altameda, which, big seller. If you're into Pathfinder Infinite at all, you probably have already scoured these pages, but if you haven't, you're missing out because this is amazing. For those who don't know, Luis Loza is the authority on Arcadia, everything Arcadia, over at Paizo, the Arcadian champion, so to speak. And it really shines here in this book, which focuses on a settlement in Arcadia called Altameda. Alright. Why is that down there still? Go away. Alright. So, Altameda. This goes over, it's a complete gazetteer of this wonderful city that's perfect for adventurers. Absolutely perfect for adventurers. Let me put this down right here. It has this kind of, it's in the Deadshot lands or near the Deadshot lands, and it has great hooks for different adventures you could go on around there. It has all that Arcadian Deadshot flavor of being great for gunslingers or kind of that sort of Wild West fantasy feel that really comes out in here. You can see it here in this amazing cover here. Was that cover art done by... Yep, Sheppy. Yep, it looked like it. It was. It's awesome. Look how incredible that is. It's so cool. It's such a... it screams Arcadia. Like, when I look at it, I just instantly go, oh, yeah, that's definitely Arcadia. It's awesome. Tons of information here. You got the full stat block here for the settlement. You have local groups, local businesses. Really cool. I mean... The Arcadia Parcel Service. While not based in Altameda, the new Arcadian Parcel Service is no stranger to the city. The service handles deliveries all throughout Western Arcadia, and Altameda City Hall hosts a new Arcadia Parcel Service office, which constantly overflowing with packages in need of delivery. As a result, the local office is constantly in need of workers willing to travel the great distances needed for deliveries. So, right there, just with that sentence, you have a reason why the PCs could be in the city. They could be working for the postal system. A reason for them to leave the city and go to somewhere else if they need to go on another adventure somewhere. A person who's already there who might want to hire them to travel. Just maybe not just to deliver, maybe just to protect a delivery. Maybe even to interfere in a delivery. Maybe somebody sent something out that cannot reach where it needs to go for reasons that happen to be... make the criminality of stealing from the post, offsets the criminality of stealing from the post. There are certain life endangerment, society collapsing reasons why you might want to hire an adventurer to interfere with post. But my point here was that was just this one little section right here. Just this one. Can you see my mouse? You can. This one little section right here had just that. Everything in here is just dripping with content. There's so much here you could use. Frankly, there's stuff, even if you're not in Arcadia, there are things in this settlement you could use that will just get your mind flowing as to new adventure ideas, even new PC backgrounds. So much cool stuff here. As with everything by Luis Loza, it is formatted professionally. Everything is tightly polished, well done. You got all these wonderful local groups, the Cliff Kids, the Storm Runners, the Water Crew, the Beast Kings. There's some information on the sidebars, like here we have stuff about the languages spoken here in Arcadia. There's a complete map that comes along with this product. You get two maps, one with the numbers, one without. Makes a great splash page. If you're working on VTT, you could put that up as your splash page and just move icons around to show where the party happens to be. All these locations are discussed in more than enough detail to use in your campaign. You got inns and town halls. You got saloons. Sorry. You got clinics. You got the local water service, as water is extremely valuable resource here in the Deadshot lands, which is another great potential hook for another adventure. More information up here about Tazuni, the area in which Alta Meta is put into place. We have tons of names, all these bold names here, great names for NPCs. If you have trouble, as I tend to, coming up with names for NPCs on the fly, and you have an Arcadian campaign, this book is a treasure trove of amazing names for evocative NPCs. In addition, there is an entire section here on the deities, which was my favorite part, so if I felt like I was rushing to it, I just really wanted to go over them. I love these holy symbols. I love these deities. These are just, it's really cool how there's this isolated, semi-isolated area in Arcadia where they worship these deities above the standard ones that we know, and we get all these cool informations about here. So let's go over these real quick. We have Drenanora Grandstepper, who is the deity of vast spaces, journeys, and winds. Perfect for your standard drifter through Arcadia. One little second. That is bothering me still. I need to... There we go. Now I look less like a ghost, right? Right? Okay. There you go. All right. So it's a neutral deity, but focused more around neutral good, chaotic neutral, not so lawful, not evil, healing, air, freedom, nature, and travel. You want to visit open places, prevent settlements from severely encroaching in open areas, return home after a journey, and rest outdoors. So it's a little bit more of a almost outdoorsy Desna is the feeling I get from it, and that might be because there's a bladed scarf as a favored weapon, so it's kind of remind me kind of semi-Varisian, but still its own definite flavor for sure, because there's a lot more open environments. Traveling on days with no wind is anathematic, so it would be really fun to do this with a windy character. Like I'm kind of thinking of that little obscure here. There's this alien in Gintama who gets sickened if she's not in the open breeze. If you want to play a very wind-themed character, Driona Gladstepper is a great way to go with that. Fabulous cleric spells, by the way. Long Strider's super useful. Fly is, of course, incredible. Unfettered Pack. I am not 1,000,000% sure what that spell does, and I don't want to give the wrong information, but I am always curious. I love looking at deity entries, in case you didn't know. Unfettered Pack is a Nymph Bloodline spell, primal spell. Targets don't take circumstance penalties to speed due to vegetation, rubble, winds, or other properties of the environment. Whether or not effects is magical, they ignore difficult terrain from such environmental properties. 7th level spell lasts 1 hour. Oh wow, so that's good for exploration. That's good for exploration or encounter mode. That's really nice. I like that a lot. Drano Gradstepper. Tall as a mountain, but not a giant. Big giant into vast mountains, big open fields with a single solitary tree. Really cool. We got a lot more here, though. We have Hamli the Builder, all about shelters, architecture, and mathematics. So if you wanted to play a little bit less lawful than if you want to focus more on the architecture and the building than the banking and commerce, but you still kind of want to play, but then a Abdarian. I think Hamley the Builder is a great alternative to that. It's much more about providing shelter for others, building on the works of others, sharing your knowledge. It's almost like that perfect cross point between like Bree and Abdar. Like you want to focus on building people shelters and kind of building civilization in a way, but you're way more about the inventive process of it. It's about you're an agent of creation. Is the feeling I get from this, especially with that religious symbol of a inked quill pen and a tree. You know, the two tools to build a home, one to design, one to build. I love it. Strength and intelligence. Really cool, really cool. You get Ant Hall, you get Stone Shape, and you get Maze. Maze is a fun spell. I don't see it cast enough by players. Favorite weapons, Warhammer, which is great. Kalamesh, the Keeper of the Code. Automatically, I gotta tell you, I think this might be my favorite deity in this book. It is a gunslinging deity, firearms, honorable combat, and birds of prey. You have to uphold the Star Code, which is this special code of honor that anybody with a star gun and many other gunslingers have. Luis is in chat. She's also related to a Mwangi god. Oh. Okay, that was talking about Dranora Grandstepper is related to a Mwangi god. Can't believe I missed that. Her friend Ozen, a black bear. Alright, so there's a lot of deep stuff you go in here with this. So, Kaldamash, back to here. Apologies. You do get a star gun or flintlock musket as your favorite weapon. You do have to uphold the Star Code, which is about like honorable combat and not killing somebody while they're unarmed, and basically being an upstanding kind of duelist warrior. The gods gave you a gun, you have to use it wisely and take care of it and use it safely. You get crafting, which will help if you have the gun and you need to fix it, as you probably can't just buy a new one, and the Star Code doesn't want you to just run out and buy a new one. Coolest of all for me is these cleric spells. True Strike on a gunslinging cleric. That's absolutely brilliant. I love it. I think it's really fun. It's it's a little cheesy in a great way, in a way that makes players go, ooh, that sounds fun. Like it's really cool. I love that a lot. And True Target 7th level, very flavorful. Same with Clairvoyance. I'm getting very much want to play a sniper with this, for sure. I see the Fate and Luck domains on there would work really well with them. Duty and Star both fit really well with the Star Code. Having a Star Code deity altogether is really cool. Like, I definitely got Paladin, Cleric, Lawful vibes already from the Star Code and reading about that in Arcadia. But like without you could have picked many of the lawful gods, but having one that is directly with the Star Code just gives you that. It's free real estate. It's a free win. You know what I mean? It's great. Ulmagrin. Ulmagrin is the current of peace. It's water, diplomacy. You go with the flow, but you are trying to make sure that you could learn to change with life's challenges, find peace between others. I really love that in a desert, arid environment, the god of water is also the god of peace. I think that's really cool. That's really cool. I love that a lot. You get Hydraulic Push, Enthrall, and Hydraulic Torrent. Great. You get a Halberd, fabulous weapon. We get rivers. It's about how water belongs to everybody. It's the source of life. Its alignment is neutral, but it's neutral focused towards lawful and good. I get that. Very cool. I do love this. I'm going to note right now, I do love how elemental these feel. Like, in a really good way. There's a great balance here between these elements. We got the one building the house. We have the fire one coming up next. We have this water one, and we have the air one. And then we also got metal for bullets, if you want to throw that in there. I really like it completes a pattern, and I really appreciate that. Fadi Kolotl is the healer of souls. A fiery bird for healing is it's classic. It's great. Help others return to a righteous path. Seek out evils that threaten innocence. Refuse to destroy evil. You cannot refuse to destroy evil. Very much. You got your purification here. You got your cleansing here. I think there's already more information and, in a way, more encouragement to play this over the other Phoenix deity we have, who is currently sealed in a rock and not 1,000,000% able to give its paladins and clerics powers. So, Fadi Kolotl, you got my vote. If I am making a Phoenix-themed holy character, I found my new deity that I'm going to ask my GM to use for sure. Knowledge domain is fantastic. Healing, truth, zeal. It's interesting that their font is harm and heal, because they are not just about healing and redemption. Very much they're about retribution, making sure evil isn't allowed to just run out in the world and cause more problems, which is awesome. Religious symbol is a single colotl feather wreathed in a flame, like you can see up there. Love colotls. Luis Loza has a colotl bloodline asymere on his blog, which it looks so much fun to play. Definitely want to use it as soon as I can. And we got Torm the Wandering, claimer of the unclaimed. This is our evil deity, lawful evil to be precise, although they do have some chaotic evil followers, so the evil is the important part there. You could get up to neutral, but that's as far away as you get from evil is simply neutral. They are about traveling, claiming that which nobody else has, using resources, taking them for yourself, not being restrained by anyone else. I'm getting kind of a oil baron vibe. Yeah, as Brian says in chat, I love the 2E alignment spreads. Yeah, isn't that great? Being able to like write deities or have deities that don't necessarily conform to the standard grids like they did in 1E. I like that a lot. I love that a lot. It really tells you a lot about the inner workings and flavor of these. I do like how Torm the Wandering here, they're evil, but they're heal. Or no, they're not heal. I'm so sorry. No, they are harm. They are harm. That's good. All right. You get Resplendent Mansion, which is perfect because like I'm totally getting this kind of oil baron vibe from this like Dallas vibe from this almost. Like just take as much as I can. A fistful of grass because it's mine. Which very much goes in line with a monster from another book I'm going to be discussing today. So when I go there, hopefully I'll remember Torm the Wandering and kind of call back to that. The most important possession one has is their own freedom. So it is very much about freedom, but it's about your own freedom. They have tyranny here as a domain, and it's kind of fun to see a deity that you could pick for somebody who broke free of something, but they're still kind of a nasty person. Like, I'm glad I'm free. Rest of you could free yourselves. Like, that's not up to me. But like, I'm not going to let anyone else ever imprison me again. I could agree with that. I think that's a fun area that has not been explored. It hasn't been explored in depth yet. So yeah, definitely check this out. I think this was one of the fastest, if not the fastest community content product to hit silver. It totally worth it. Arcadia Files Ultimata, another amazing product by Luis Loza. I am absolutely digging this. I love it. It's the kind of product that gets me excited to come here every week and share what I found interesting and found fun in all this. But I did want to talk also on the other side of the world here. The Quest for the Frozen Throne is the newest AP still being released by Paizo, taking place up there in the land of the Lenorm Kings and up around there. There's some great products that have come out recently. I will, to give complete disclosure here, they did send me these products and say, want to look at this? And if you like it, review it. And I looked at it and I liked it, therefore I'm reviewing it. But full disclosure there. So the big book that came out was called the Mammoth Path. It's a number of extra adventures, monsters, and content to help flesh out your Quest for the Frozen Flame adventure. These are by the Gremlin brothers, you might know from the End of Days. I did a review on them first week of January, I believe. So you'll know their level of commitment to good product. So they have some campaign backgrounds here. These are definitely at the level of the campaign backgrounds you might remember from 1E. They are at a level of like an uncommon or rare background, but they could really help key a party together, especially if you all want to be from one of these animal themed houses: the Falcon House, the Fortune House, the Bear House, the Turtle House, the Moose House, the Raven House. These backgrounds all give you a special power at the equivalent of a 5th level augury once per day, plus guidance at will. Some of these are really good, I gotta tell you. Like, take the blow once per day as a reaction. You can ignore the effects of a critical hit before the damage is rolled. Like, it's not game breaking, but it is stronger, possibly, than a lot of other backgrounds. Getting that instead of a skill feat, potentially stronger than other backgrounds. But it does help in an AP, especially if you're not going free archetype, or if you are going free archetype and you only have maybe 3 or 4 players in your group and you want that extra level of power. And again, it is cool to have all these backgrounds going off being members of these houses, of this tribe, so you all have a good reason to be together to start with. And I do think that's totally worth it. There's a cool feat here called Grace of the Mountains. It gives you status bonus to athletics to climb, balance, or jump equal to half your level for 1 minute once per day as a single action. I think that's pretty neat. There's a stance here for There's a stance here called Circle of Protection. Gives you you and all your allies could use 2 reactions this round. Adjacent allies could all use 2 reactions this round when the round that you activate it. But if you and as long as you stay there. But if you move, the stance ends. So that's like stuff like that. Just gets a little tactical noggin running, right? Like really neat stuff like that. I'd probably put these feats at about the level of maybe a 5th level feat. And let's admit it, you're not going to stay levels 1 through 4 for very long. So yeah. I like them. Oh, excuse me. Not the moose. Yes, I'm going to claim my my chair flopping down like that was the moose. The Moose House gives you moose medicine once per day when making a skill check where wisdom's the key attribute. You may, as a fortune effect, roll twice and take the better roll. That's really nice. I do love that, in particular, if you have a party that doesn't have a dedicated healer. If you don't have a champion or anyone who could cast healing magic, getting that critical fail on the medicine check and killing a party member is a really bad way to die. So I don't mind getting a pseudo better than a hero point for quick healing, especially in a campaign where you might not have access to healing potions right away, or clerics. Like in an urban campaign, you could run to the local temple maybe, or always have a small potion on hand. But anyway, so there's all these cool backgrounds. Let me check. Oh, we're good on time. There's some other backgrounds here that aren't part of those clans. Being a Beastkin Berserker, for example, gives you kind of a pseudo-beastal mutagen that you could use like once per day. Mammoth Speaker lets you communicate with mammoths as though you had speak with animals, which I think is really fun. So a lot of really cool thematic backgrounds that are intended to give your characters a little extra oomph during the campaign quest for the Frozen Flame. Moving on, we got some unique animal companions here. This is good. I mean, even if you are not running Quest for the Frozen Flame, you could take this Ice Age companion feat and get yourself a Smilodon, a Glyphodon, or a Megatherium. It's like a giant sloth. Love that. So Advanced Maneuver Clawing Death was my favorite. It lets you strip away anything the opponent's holding. Basically, your companion gets a disarm attempt with a +1 bonus that gets higher as the thing gets larger. I like that because disarm gets a lot of flack. And yeah, I guess it's a little unreliable. But if you have your animal companion trying it and then you try it, or vice versa, it becomes substantially more usable because of the penalty conferred when you get that hit. Without taking the multiple attack penalty, potentially. So if you want yourself a Smilodon... there is also a Woolly Mammoth Calf. you could get a woolly mammoth calf, and that would get bigger over time. So if you want to play your standard mammoth rider, but you don't necessarily want to wait for the archetype, unless that's already out through Quest of the Brazen Throne. Man, why did I not bother looking that up in advance? Oh, because I'm trying not to spoil that for me. Yeah, I don't see it yet. So maybe the next quest for the Frozen Throne will have the Woolly Mammoth Rider, but if it doesn't, you could pick up this book, get Ice Age Companion, pick up Woolly Mammoth Calf, and gradually raise it into a rideable Woolly Mammoth. Or you could play a sprite and start off riding it. There's always that. It is mediums. You could probably even just play a goblin and do it. All right. There's a great gazetteer here of the Realm of the Mammoth Lords that helps flesh out some more areas that aren't mentioned so much in the AP or in any other prior books. They go into stuff about a place called Hillcross, the Tusk Mountains. They go down here. There's a lot of information here, and I don't necessarily want to get into too much detail over stuff other than what really jumped out at me, because there might be spoilers. A GM might want to use this in their own campaign, and there could be spoilers. But I love it ready because there's a lot of open air markets. There's a lot extra places here where you could buy and sell goods, which has been a concern for my own party, looking at potentially playing this after Extinction Curse. And we've been like, one problem we've been going over in Extinction Curse is not a lot of places to buy and sell magic goods. So you kind of just have to like, oh, and we happen upon a wandering merchant. Okay. But in this case, they give you some extra areas where you'll definitely find merchants, places where people going to or from the Crown of the World will stop here, things like that. It's fabulous. And of course, there are lots and lots and lots of wonderful campaign hooks and adventure hooks, I should say. Adventure hooks. Extra adventure hooks for your campaign. Giant predatory fish there in the Great Cat Lake. There's geothermal heat vents that people have made these walled cities around. Full of people who would rather you don't go near their settlements. Nomadic Kelid tribes that go around them. Just some really, really cool places you could explore here in the Realm of the Mammoth Lords, in case your PCs get through a series of encounters through an unexpected way in your AP, and you find yourself jonesing for some more content. In addition, there is some more... there's some more there's information here in such a way that you could say it out to your players, box text here. So, to help you to help them if they want to take the journey through Ice Stair. So you don't just say you go through it. Instead, you could kind of talk about what they see on their way going through there and potentially come up with some skill challenges. And there's a bestiary, which is really cool because I love having additional monsters for my PCs to be challenged when they, we're going to spend an extra week camping here, even though the AP wants us to move along. Okay, well, watch out because corrupted zombie T-Rex is just around the corner. It'll shake you, fling you, and trample you. So there's some really nasty monsters here with some great flavor for the region. And there we have it for that. In addition, the Gremlin Brothers have also created some really cool maps that you could use. You could use them for battle maps or what have you for Realm of the Mammoth throughout the Realm of the Mammoth Lords, intended for use with Quest for the Frozen Flame. Oops, that will not open until I close that. All right, let me just get this up. Pow. Oops, that is not doing what I thought it would. Apologies. I am not used to... All right, we will just get those up here using my splash screen. I know that would work. All right, so let's get rid of my timer, my text, Infiknight, and go display capture. All right, so these maps, like all the Gremlin Brothers maps, you get different days of the time of the day. You get like a dusk, a day, and a night map. You also get with and without grids, depending on what VTT you're using. All very helpful. We have, like, here's a fabulous glacial lake. We have this going down the glacial lake a little. You have this area with all these bones and this little camp here. You have this awesome jungle if you want to go further down the river even more. There's just so many great maps here that all fit this setting so well. You have this here, the altar here in the middle of the snow. Look how cool these maps are. I really love these. I think they look fabulous. In addition, with this altar and the pass, there are some of their scenes. I'll get through this real quick. We got this camp. Here are the scenes. So they have these scenes, which I love these. You could use these so your players don't instantly get a sense of, oh, there's an encounter starting. As one problem I've seen with some groups, I even do it too. I start to go, oh, I better make sure I tell my GM I'm stealthing. It really helps in exploration mode to use splash pages like this to kind of, you're setting the scene without laying out the map. They don't know that there's going to be enemies or a fight necessarily or an encounter. Maybe you don't even know. Maybe they might do the right skill check so that there won't be an encounter. But it helps set a scene. It helps set a mood. It also gives them something to look at while you are frantically placing out monsters because they happen to go east instead of west, and now you're not sure what to do. And they're great for skill challenges. Like you want to go up the Ice Crown Pass here. You could be like, well, in this part, there could be a potential avalanche if they don't do the right skill checks to bridge up the side of the mountain up there with some logs that fell before they passed through. I'm just coming up with these on the top of my head right now. This could be a good ambush area, so maybe they have to stealth on through or try to find a different route up because they think they hear something that could be monsters waiting to get them. There's different things to do with that. And we even have this cool Mammoth trail here. Just a good old-fashioned icy trail. Love it, love it, love it. Let's head back down to our PDFs. Awesome. All right. Talking about mammoths. If you're looking for more mammoth adventures, Sons of the Raging Blood here by Brian Lane. He was kind enough to send me this PDF here. Sons of the Raging Blood is primarily focused on louts. Louts being male hags, kinda. The male equivalent of hags-ish. To put it simply, where a hag is meant to be representative of someone who has been cast out by society, a lout is somebody who casts other people out instead. They're still alone, they're still nasty, they're still primarily evil, but they have more of a, I want to say, masculine energy, so to speak, negative, toxic masculine energy, definitely. But, and this comes with a full bestiary of all these different kinds of louts, a full, gazetteer of this island, run by a almost demi-deity level lout, and all of his other louts who live there, as one of the only places where louts will actually somewhat get along. And an adventure called Mammoth-Sized Problems, which, again, don't want to go through it too much, but it is from level 5 to 7. It starts in a fighting arena, so and it could start in any city large enough to have a fighting arena. So Absalom, Otari, pretty much anywhere big enough to have one, even if it's just being set up temporarily, like, a traveling circus sets up this fighting ring. But yes, the Titanic fighting ring is where it starts in. So has some lout kind of stuff in it, and fun looking adventure that, again, don't want to spoil because people might want to play it. So louts, this has a whole section of information about their history and society. It is, as an Infinite product, it is focused on Golarion. It has some information here about turning stuff into pseudo louts, because louts have this aspect of them called the Raging Blood. They're pretty much raging pretty much all the time. And there's a mutagen here that will give you a pseudo rage with your Raging Blood. There's a poison that will make people rage. The Isle of Pleasure is the name of the place. It's kind of a pseudo-mythical in that they are good at advertising themselves. Island of hedonistic pleasure, but probably not for most people, as most people probably can't survive both getting there and then being there. And once you do arrive, there's no way you're going to leave. So it's a good campaign hook for a place to go. You know, the PCs, you gotta try to get out of there. Kind of reminds me of like, what was that adventure? The prison. It's very much one of those like, survive in this strange culture you've never seen before with all their weird ways, and they're not going to let you go, but you're going to slowly maybe perhaps become one, so you better get out of there while you can places. There's no direct adventure necessarily here, but there are these 16 places are all well done out with their suitable NPCs and different hooks that you potentially have in all of these. There's this misplaced carnival there, and all these fanciful louts and lout adjacent people there. And then of course you have player options. Tons of player options in this book. It surprised me how many player options there were here, not just for players looking to play lout changelings, which is the first thing you're going to get in here after these backgrounds is, yes, there is a lout lineage for changelings. So a lot of these feats give you fighter feats, which is an interesting way to go. At first, I was a little bit like, ooh, maybe that shouldn't be. And then I remembered, like, I don't know, we have ancestry feats that give you, like, multi-class feats, level 1 class feats. This is way more specific than that. They are very particular feats. They're good feats. Like, Power Attack's a good feat. Sun Charge is a great feat. You know, talk to your GM and go through this together with them, but I like it. I dig it. I really dig it. Louts do get the rage action. That is a big one. That definitely needs the GMG will talk about how to balance putting rage on a non-barbarian, because it does add to your damage, and it probably shouldn't be on a martial character who has other ways to add to their damage. Which, that's fine. Like I said, there are ways to do it. I do love that their 2 lout weapons here are fantastically funny. Really love these. They have the Boom Club is literally just a bomb on a stick, like an improvised bomb on a stick. It could destroy itself. And the Sword Chuck, it's 2 swords strung together. Great meme potential. When you critically fail with it, you take persistent bleed damage, which I like that as a weapon. Have this weird weapon with a weird critical fail. That's interesting. Obviously, it wouldn't be ideal to use in a game where you're already using critical fumble decks, but if you're not, sword chucks, man, sword chucks. All right, you have a barbarian lout instinct in here. It's focused more on targeting a particular person and wanting to go for them. So your rage is very much you target one person and you get your bonuses against them, not against other people, which I dig that. I really do. I was kind of surprised and like, oh yeah, I could see that. I'm surprised I haven't seen that before. Kind of reminds me of the Sword Devil Ranger archetype from 1E, or Cavalier Challenge for that matter, except angrier. Is a feat that lets you gain a little bit of damage even when you're not raging, which I don't think is too bad because every barbarian I've played with has just raged in the first round anyway. Okay, that's not true, but a lot of them do. Inspired Strike is one that I'm interested. It's a reaction to when you get a circumstance bonus as a status to attack rolls. It gives you a free strike. So it almost is giving you that free strike when you rage, but it does use up your reaction, which barbarians do have pretty good reactions. And it's not like rogues get that free strike whenever somebody hits them. So like as playing a rogue, I'm getting a free strike every round. Like, so getting that extra free strike with that niche of a bonus of a trigger. Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that. They have the ability to break people's bones, so they lower in speed when you smack them around, so they can't run away as easily. They get a forehead unarmed attack with a feat called Knucklehead. It's in the Brawling group, has the backswing trait, and the damage goes up to a D10 when you're raging. But you take 1d4 mental damage per weapon dice when you attack with it, and gives you a stupefied value, which won't mean much for too many barbarians, but it's really funny flavor, stupefying yourself by hitting them in the head with your head. The Castigator is a cleric archetype, It lets you castigate someone. No, it lets you basically you get a lot of intimidation stuff. You get bonuses against intimidating people who break your deity's anathema. You get a focus. You get the ability to cast. There's some ways to cast spells in here when people have hurt you a little bit more easily than you should be able to normally. You could even use Intimidate to inspire your allies to aid them, but if they fail, they become if they fail, they become frightened, and if they critically succeed, you can make an enemy frightened. I think that's really fun flavor right there. It's exoration. They also have stats in here for the Fury domain, which gives you the ability to effectively... Oops, I'm on the wrong pile. There we go. It gives you a Divine Rage. It's effectively rage as a spell. That's cool. That's cool. And Retaliating Spell lets you cast a damaging spell as a reaction, but you also have to spend the focus point, and you have to spend the other necessary resources that would require to cast that spell. There's a bunch of sections in here on rogue stuff. Specifically rogue stuff that largely supports the Dirty Trickster archetype. So you could box somebody's ears to make them deafened, foot stomp them to give them a speed penalty, or toss sand in their eyes to make them blind and give them a penalty. So it's kind of like dirty trick stuff. I could see a lot of these, honestly, as skill feats, but they're a little bit stronger than your normal use of skills, like such as disarm. They're not necessarily stronger in the right circumstances than Trip. So they're in a good place, honestly, especially in a free archetype campaign. The Dirty Trickster archetype, I'm going to go that really fast over here. So the Dirty Trickster archetype gets all of these as additional feats, in addition to stuff like Unbalancing Blow, Twin Feint, Twin Distraction, all those kind of underhanded assault, all those kind of stuff you'd expect to get as a dirty trick. In addition, all those feats are considered dirty trick feats, which the archetype lets you do stuff with. I don't know how else to put it that way. You could do them as reactions to somebody when you critically succeed them with precision damage. You can do a flurry of tricks that effectively lowers... You could do 2 tricks at once and then lower the number of actions it would take by 1. As long as it's still minimum 1. Which it will be with all these feats, how it works. It works out to be usually 1 action, but actually usually 2 actions, but a lot of times 1 action. Cool. The dedication itself lets you, when you damage a creature with a melee attack, if you apply a weakness, you increase the weakness by 1 against that creature, and if you apply a resistance, you decrease the resistance by 1. So if you're fighting something and they take a little bit less damage, you'll notice. If they take more damage, you'll notice. And you can make them take even more and more damage on later strikes. That increases with your weapon proficiency. And there's a feat that lets you grant that bonus to all your allies within, I want to say, 30 feet. There's a Smasher archetype. It is all about smashing into things, breaking open doors, breaking glass to make caltrops over the floor, a lot of tactical battlefield options for a brute type character, which works great for louts. You could even pick foes up and smash them into the ground, or even smash them into each other, which I really appreciate and really like. It looks like a really fun archetype for that big, broly kind of beat 'em up character. I like it a lot. There's a swashbuckler style here called Competitor, and a stance here that could be for pretty much any martial class, called the Braggart stance and the Walloping stance, which are great with louts. And then there is that aforementioned Bestiary, which is... There's so many cool louts here. They all have different... They all have different sidebars here for what they could do special. There's some lout allies here, such as Azimum, which is this frog devil. It's a giant frog. It's a medium size, but I think of medium frogs as giant. It's a giant sized it's a medium sized frog devil. With acid spit and a big tongue and a few divine spells, because it is still a devil. We have a brawling dragon. It's a dragon who kind of hoards victories in the ring, which I love that. I love the idea of a dragon that probably sleeps on top of all the belts and masks it's won in wrestling competitions. I think that's really cool. I think these are all evil. I think at best there might be a neutral one, but these are definitely enemies that you're looking at. Most of them near to the higher levels. We're looking between 6 and 17. That's a big range, I know, but not much here if you're just looking for lower level monsters, which is fine because the higher level ones tend to take more time and be more difficult to put together. In addition, we do have stats here for Master Tortir. He's the head of that pleasure island mentioned earlier, his messenger, and his messenger's unique, awesome Whisper Sickle, which lets you add additional stacking frighten to people. It's really cool. You got pranksters, Ironheart. You have louts who are lazy, louts who are angry, louts who will do anything to win competitions. You have the Lost Boys. They're a group who came onto the island and are kind of that standard archetypical Lost Boy. They have slingshots and a rapier. They don't want anything else to do with the civilized world as they see it, and they're going off on their own. And then they have stats here for Master Tortir as a creature 24 with a... It's definitely a deity. I mean, there's a deity stat block here, so... so if you wanted a lout deity, you also have this right here. I do love the sidebar, Dad Jokes of Golarion. What did Aridin say to Asmodeus? Nothing, he's dead. Okay. Yeah. So there's some really deadpan jokes here for the Lucerol with his dull wit to dispense with his Bon Mot ability, his kind of pseudo enhanced Bon Mot ability, which that's pretty cool. I like that it gives you that, so as a GM you don't have to think on the fly of something to tell someone to make them cringe, because I'm sure everyone has one or two they could go to, but if you're going through multiple rounds, you might run out of your standards pretty soon there. But yeah, as you can see through here, there are so many cool louts here. And then you get right here to the Mammoth size problem. So really cool book, has a lot of great information, whether you're a GM or a player, or you're just looking to flesh out Golarion and add some new space. They have that cool island. So Sons of the Raging Blood here by Brian Lane. Finally, I did want to go over one more time. Apparently, Kate has a penalty in her region for bad jokes at the table. -1 hero point. Oh, no! Well, that's okay, because those dad jokes are intended for the GM, so they'll get something here or there, right? Oh, and Brian Lane is in chat right now saying that for any viewers that are in chat or who are listening who want to go over to chat right now, there is a discount you could get right now for Sons of the Raging Blood. So if you want to pick that up, there is a discount right there in chat. So before we head up, I do want to bring back the Gingerbread Witch. I discussed the here again. It's a really cool archetype by Novel Enigma, who does all these great big books full of wonderful, fun little archetypes and base classes. The Gingerbread Witch is literally you bake your familiar. You don't make your familiar baked. You don't bake a living familiar. You bake a cookie. The cookie comes to life and becomes your familiar. So if you want some inspiration there, real quick, I just saw this yesterday, so it's in my head. Check out the trailer for Thrones of Eldraine, the Magic the Gathering set, and it's a wonderful music video of gingerbread cookies coming to life. Anyway, that might inspire you for your Gingerbread Witch here. So you could bake spells into your gingerbreads, and other people will eat them and get buffs. You do give up the ability to inflict direct damage with your spells. You can't prepare spells that just do direct damage when you're a Gingerbread Witch, which is fine because you have some indirect ways of doing it, such as explosive cookies, alchemical cookies. You could poison people with your cookies, but that's going a little borderline evil. For the most part, you are summoning gingerbread men. You are using them to do fun things. You are cooking cookies for people. Yes, there's the spell here, bad cookies, and the other spell, delicious cookies. You are healing people with your cookies, of course. So if you want to play a character, a witch, who makes delicious cookies and has a little talking, walking cookie familiar, man, this is it. And I gotta tell you, I've never cooked a gingerbread before, but if I ever want to make one of these characters, which I do, it's not my top 10, but it's near my top 20. It would be fun to make this character. I would definitely bring gingerbread men to every session, and pass them out as I cast these spells. And I would be just a little disappointed if you didn't. That's a little joke. You could play this character however you want, but man, how fun is this? I love this whole thing. It was inspired by A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher. So if you ever want to play Magical Baker, Gingerbread Witch is right up here for you. And honestly, you could reflavor it if you like wanted something beside gingerbread cookies. You could probably reflavor it, but I think gingerbread cookies work best, especially if you want the walking, talking familiar. So another shout out here. I said I'd do it. I'll do it again. Villum and Lace. Love reading it. Always want more. Vanessa Hoskins. Awesome book series. Short stories. Loving it. About Magical Academy and Absalom and these two female Academy students going through it. I love it. Really fun. They have it on phone size is my preference, which is why this might look a little narrow, but you could get full screen, you could get printable. I just like being able to read it on my phone, so I do download the phone size myself. Also did want to do a shout out. We're going to go back here to the beginning. Wanted to point out Altamedia again. Awesome. Reflavor. Yes, Brian, I did say reflavor the gingerbread cookies. No, gingerbread's awesome. I love gingerbread. I'll put it in my coffee sometimes. This gingerbread syrup flavoring. Anyway, so wanted to bring out this. Everyone watching, if you like to keep on track of amazing Infinite releases, and perhaps some that I might have even missed, you should email Owen Casey Stevens at infinite.releases@gmail.com. And ask to subscribe to his newsletter, because he is releasing I want to say weekly newsletter where he is sending out all this great information on these past and current Pathfinder Infinite releases. And I think that's fabulous, and I love seeing more support for what he's doing to the community as a whole. Yes, the first newsletter came out today, and it was really good. It reminded me of why I love Infinite so much and helped inspire me to come do this with all the enthusiasm that I have today. In addition, I want everyone to go ahead and check out No Nat 1's Sinclair Library. I'm going to put a link there in chat because it is a rather complex URL, but you could also find it on No Nat 1's Discord server. No Nat 1 is a YouTube Pathfinder 2 YouTuber. Great content. You should check them out. And they are coming out with 2 books. One will be a gazetteer of a codex of 150 illustrated NPCs. And the other is an almanac with tons of new player options. The production value on these looks fabulous. You should really check it out. They right now just have a alert me when this is up kind of stage of the Kickstarter. And I'm sure more information about it will be released over time. And with that, we're good. Yeah. So thank you all for showing up again. Oh, one little shout out before I forget. If I wanted to thank everyone who happened to purchase my own Star Spinners book. I want to point out that I did an update in the book. So if you downloaded it and didn't see that there was an update, it was last Sunday, I believe was my last update. I added a new feat and I powered up a feat. I did a little bit more playtesting with a more martial build. When I first started doing it, it was just a caster. And then I did some table playtesting and realized the Star Orb could do a little bit more damage. So if you take the 4th level feat that increases the damage your orb does, it adds better traits for increasing your damage. And there's a feat that lets you put a Aeon Stone into your Star Orb, because that was mentioned in the flavor, but I realized, there's no feat that actually does that. So there's that too. And there was some minor updates to it. Some couple little typos that were found and sent. So yay. So if you happen to have bought the Star Spinners product, there was an update there, but that is my own product, and full disclosure, I do economically benefit from talking about it. So there's that. So thank you very much all for watching. I had a great time going over all the wonderful products this week. You could catch me next time on my own Twitch channel on Tuesday, where I pull out a bunch of different booster packs from random card games and make PF2 monsters for them live. Or next Friday, where I will be reviewing more amazing third-party community content. Feel free to contact me on Discord, Facebook, or any of my other social media channels if you have a product that you want me to review. Thank you very much for showing up, and have yourself a wonderful weekend with lots of natural